What's going on, y'all? My name is Enoch. I'm here to inspire, motivate, and encourage you to be the best version of you that you could possibly be. I know that ain't an easy task, but let's go. Welcome back to Divine Motivation Podcast. I really appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for being here. I do not take your time for granted. I know I say that all the time, but I really mean it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. If I say something that you like, send it to a friend so they can listen to it, so they can send it to a friend. Follow the Instagram, Divine Motivation _ where I literally give you motivation every single day. No joke, no days off. Now let's get into it. So, last week we talked about, man, we in December. And I kind of just want to keep, just every week, try to give you just something to just apply to going into the new year this last month. And I feel like some work that we should be doing going into the year or trying to end off the year strong. We all have some issues, right? And a lot of times we attach ourselves to our issues. And I think that's why we can't really overcome them, because it's almost like we almost embed it into ourselves. So my thing is like, okay, how do we overcome those things that we're struggling with, that are holding us back from walking into our purpose or our calling or whatever it is we're trying to do? And I think a lot of times, I think the key is to detach from our issues. So a lot of times we claim the things that we struggle with and we make it our own. I feel like we need to detach from them and look at the issue for what it is and say, okay, what is the issue? Let me take myself out of it. Let's look at the root of whatever the issue is. Like, why am I lazy? What is it? What is this laziness? Because separate yourself from the issues. Separate yourself from those things that you struggle with, so you can really take a good look at it instead of just beating yourself up like, I just can't do this, I can't do this. No. Look at the actual issue that you're dealing with, that's been hindering you for years, that you keep claiming. Stop claiming your issues. Saying like, yo, that's an issue, I need to fix that. Like, what is that? What is that thing that's keeping you from growing? Get to the root of it. Like, why am I so inconsistent? Why am I not accountable? What is the actual issue? And I think if we start diving into those things with that mindset, like, all right, let me go see what the issue is here. What is that? And doing that internal work so that you and I get it. It's hard because you have to look at yourself and say, you know what? I'm causing that on myself. I'm the reason I'm not moving forward. I'm the reason why I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's hard for some people to admit, like, yo, it's on you. You're not doing the work that you're supposed to be doing. You slacking a little bit. You know there's a purpose for you. You know there's a plan for you. You know there's a calling for you. But you have all these built-in excuses. Like, oh, but I deal with this. I have these issues. Those excuses was keeping you from doing what you're supposed to be doing. So now it's time to try something different. Let's step outside of ourselves and say, okay, what is that issue? What is the thing that's keeping me from going to the next level? Being my best version. And I think if we could get in a mindset of really attacking that and saying like, yo, you can't go into 2023 with that same mindset. You can't go into the next year thinking like, oh, I'm gonna deal with it. I'm gonna figure it out. No, start now. Like, everybody's New Year's resolution is coming up. I think it's time to not even think about a New Year's resolution for 2023 if you haven't even somewhat pursued, or not even if you haven't accomplished, but at least attempted what your New Year's resolution was for 2022. Maybe you need to continually work on that. Maybe that's something you need to figure out first before you start adding another New Year's resolution. Because we do it every year, and then by the end of the year, it's like, I didn't accomplish it. So let's just focus on one thing at a time, on accomplishing one thing at a time, on having a breakthrough on one thing at a time. Because we want all these things, but yet we don't do the work on the one thing. And not knowing, having that one thing can lead to all these other things. All these things that you want to do, all these dreams, all these goals that you have. You can't just forsake what you haven't done. Yeah, I know the New Year's coming. Yeah, I know the excitement coming. I know it's like, yeah, New Year 20. Yeah, cool. But if you have the same struggles, the same mindset that you bring in from 2022, 2023 is not going to be much different. I'm sorry to tell you. It's not going to be much different. That's why I'm big on like doing the work. Doing the work. And I know it's hard, but that's the only way it's going to change. Like I said last week, go back over every month of this year. What did you do? What was different? What did you change? Was there something that you could add? What did you struggle with? Focus on those things that you struggled with. Focus on those things that you really needed help with. And figure out, okay, I need to sometimes you don't even need to start a New Year's resolution. Sometimes it's okay to keep whatever you was trying to do in 2022. It's okay to roll that over to 2023 and just keep growing and keep building off that. You don't want to stop in the middle of whatever it is you're trying to do. Keep building from it. Keep growing from it. That's what we need to focus. We trying to reach everything. We trying to grab for everything. Master that one thing first. If you're struggling with your character, focus on your character. Nothing else. Focus on that. Don't say, I need to work on my character, and I need to work on business, then I need to work on it. No. Focus on your character. Because if you focus on your character, it'll help everything else. A lot of times, we got to keep the main thing the main thing. If we focus on the main thing, everything else will lead. Everything else will follow. So get that in your mindset now. Like, all right, let me focus on the main thing now. What was my main thing for this year? Let me focus on that and try to roll that over into the new year. And then maybe I can start adding on to it. That's it. Just start adding on to what we focus on. Keep the main thing the main thing. And stop grabbing for everything. That's it. That's this week's episode. Let's keep pushing. Let's finish off this year strong. Appreciate you tuning in. I'll see you next week.